Yo, ZFK here. Welcome to episode 1 of ZFK Talks. Um, wow, is this ever difficult to just come off the cuff and talk on camera? This is not attempt 1, so please bear with me as I develop my public speaking skills. So essentially to break down ZFK Talks, ZFK Talks is just going to be an ongoing series separate from vlogs and whatnot. And it's just the simplest way to put out content for me. I've wanted to get into doing YouTube full time my whole life. and as a video and photo freelancer, it's kind of like the perfect tandem thing for me. However, the problem has been for a long time is work has just been good, so I have to be thankful for that, but it hasn't left me any time to really do very much pursuit of my kind of creative content that I want to put out there. So essentially that's what this is. This is just a chance for me to talk about different things that I feel like I have some value to provide on, right off the cuff, little to no editing, and just to get it out there, daily content. Essentially this video is being filmed during the midst of the 2020 pandemic. I won't say what it is because I've heard that YouTube does like to sift through and see if you're saying it word for word, so we'll leave that out. We all know what we're talking about. It's affecting every single person in this world. What an interesting time to be alive, and it's going to be a lot more fun looking back on it, because I gotta be completely honest with you. I think we can all agree this fucking sucks. And on almost every single level, if you are an antisocial person that likes to tuck away and not be around anyone and doesn't enjoy the hustle and bustle of life, maybe this is your time, but that's not me. I'm like 15-20% like that, but most of the time I want to be out and about, getting shit done and interacting with people. Got my hand sanitizer in the car. 2020 essentials. Yeah, so this year for me personally has been a huge year of change. I've been freelancing and doing photo and video gigs for probably about 4.5-5 years now. And things really picked up when I graduated from school in 2018. And then 2019 was when shit really got rocking. Full time, and I was also cutting down my serving job to part time. So essentially for 2020, I was looking to leave that job anyways and just do full time video and photo. Because even through the winter 2019 to 2020, I was still going full time, very busy. And I'm super thankful for that. I think freelancing in the creative fields is one of the hardest things to get your wheels turning on and kind of start the snowball going on. So long time coming, and I was super thankful for it. But then this all came along. Threw a wrench right in my plan, right in the stokes of the bicycle wheel. So yeah, essentially before this happened, I had an agency that I still am working for, but essentially I kind of stepped back with them a little bit. Relationship is still good. I just realized that I need to pursue my own work full time if I want to make things happen in my life. And the serving job, ironically, I was going to leave probably sometime this year or the next. I was only working 1 or 2 days a week. Ironically, they gave everyone 3 weeks notice that they were closing permanently. And this is like a classic Italian wood oven pizza joint in Niagara Falls that's done pretty well over the years. So yeah, essentially for me, life was this last few months really changing fast, because I was cutting back on the agency I was with for about the last 4 years, And I was also losing my serving job that I've been with for about 4 years. And that serving job was so essential in getting this business that I have off the ground in terms of keeping the bills paid and being able to buy all the camera gear and equipment that I needed to kind of facilitate jobs. So I thought things were changing. I was so optimistic for this year, and shit just seemed to be going the way it was supposed to be. And then came March, end of February. We started to get the first serious rumbles of this pandemic, and I am generally a fairly positive person, but I can remember that week where shit really started to get real. I was sitting at a Starbucks doing some photo editing. I like to do that. I live at home, and my setup's awesome, but the problem is office and bedroom are the same thing. So get up out of bed, roll over 2 feet to my nice big glass desk. It's good and bad. I just don't like it on an everyday basis because it doesn't feel like home and work are separated, and that's a huge issue for me. They gotta be separate. So yeah, anyways, I utilize Starbucks a lot to go out. Not as of recent because they're closed, but anyways, yeah, I was sitting at a Starbucks and I just remember when it clicked for me, even I feel like before the news was talking about it, when it clicked for me, when I started to relate what would happen with the pandemic in tandem with the economy, I started to honestly... Sorry, I have a mic here. I realize I need to stop talking if I'm going to scratch my neck. But anyways, yeah, when I realized what happens in tandem in terms of the pandemic and the economy clashing, I was sitting in the Starbucks just thinking, like, holy shit. The entire community I live in, that is Niagara Falls, the industry I'm in, photo and video, creative kind of stuff, branding, we could all get absolutely obliterated by the financial fallout of a pandemic like this. Our entire financial system is so fragile that it cannot take this kind of a slowdown and halt and screeching of the wheels in which the economy turns on. I won't get too much into it, but I think that most people are aware at this point that our money system it's really messed up. And it has been for like 50 some odd years. That will be my next video on ZFK blogs, and it will be scripted because it's a highly complicated subject that I think that most of us kind of take for granted, and we don't think about money and how it works and the kind of gears grinding in behind the scene that we don't see. When you really understand it and you do take an interest into it, you realize what this pandemic really means. And it's not the deaths, it's the financial fallout that we are living through right now. And it may very well get worse. So we'll leave that for another video because it's a lot to talk about. And this will go from a 10-minute video to a 40-minute video if I just try and ramble it without scripting it. So yeah, I mean, financially, we can all agree that none of us are left unaffected by this. The middle class, the poor, the rich, everyone is affected by it. You know what I mean? Like, even you can say the rich aren't affected, but they are. The stock market just took the biggest hit they have, in like 20 or 30 years. As far as I know, it was worse in 2008. It was worse than the dot-com bubble crash. I believe that's a thing. I'm not an expert. I may be making a fool of myself. And that was either in 2000 or 2001. And it was worse than another stock trade crash that happened in the 80s, as far as I know. everyone is losing money, from small business to big box business, and your regular mom and pop shops, um, households, couples. No one is left unaffected. Um, and yeah, so I kind of like look back at on it, and my community where I come from in Niagara Falls, and we have a world-class kind of destination that is entirely set up on hospitality and tourism. We have hardly anything else going on here in terms of jobs for like production, you name it. And I think it's going to be a very long time before things ever come back to being normal in Niagara Falls. I think that Niagara Falls is already and going to continue to take a massive, massive hit economically. How can you even try to have a city running on full steam when it's all hotel rooms and restaurants and different places where the virus can spread? It all has to stay closed down until this is under control, and it's really unfortunate. So yeah, essentially, we can all agree it's just a rough time to be alive. I realized this a long, long, long time before I got into freelancing full time, but boy, is it the best of everything. Just being your own boss and having your own business. I mean, it takes yourself to kick your ass and get out of bed every day and do it. But at the end of the day, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I love what I do, 50%. I hate the amount of editing I have to do and computer screen time, but actually being out there and interacting with people and having the camera out and whatnot, and most importantly, being in a different place every single day that I work, fucking fantastic. I recommend that. But anyway, something I realized a long time ago was that being an entrepreneur, owning your own business, is a complete emotional roller coaster. It seems like some days you just wake up in the dumps, just pissed off with your situation and really struggling. But within 24 hours, the next morning, you wake up just fucking grinning from ear to ear, ready to fucking attack the day. Just life is good. And what I've noticed through this situation is just amplified. Being stuck at home so much, still having work, but not being able to go out and do it anywhere, having to spend so much time in the same room, either sleeping, relaxing, or most of the time doing my work at my desk. It's really tough, and thank God that we are getting some relief from the government in terms of some money to pay our bills, because for me, for a while there, it was just me, my business, and the virus. So I didn't know how I was going to be able to sustain my bills and debts and whatnot. So I think it's a stressful time for all. And really, like I said, I'm a positive person, but at some point you start kind of saying, like, why me? You get into that mentality of like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, it almost feels surreal. It almost doesn't feel like this is a real situation that we're all going through, but it sure is. You go to bed and you wake up and this shit's not changing. We're going to be stuck like this for a while. And yeah, it's so tough when you're just stuck at home. You can't have the hustle and bustle and the getting shit done of the day. You can't even go to the gym. I think momentum is a huge part of the day. If you can get in the habit of going to the gym when you wake up, the rest of your day is a fucking breeze because you get the hardest thing out of the way. It's just that perseverance of going to the gym makes other things seem easier. And yeah, I can't even do that now. I'm not really a big fan of running, but that's the only thing I could do. I think I'm going to have to start doing it to improve my mental state. But essentially, at the end of the day, if I had a message that I wanted to bring to you in this video, because I think that some people need to hear it, is you have to absolutely block that mentality of why me right now, I'm telling you, it will eat you up. At the end of the day, we need to focus outwards and realize that this is not just us. This is everyone. This is every single person on the planet right now is in some way, shape, or form affected by this virus pandemic. We're all struggling. We all have to kind of, in a funny, weird way, be separated but together at the same time and support each other in this time. At the end of the day, that is what's important. And I think that, you know, especially if you're someone that's ambitious and has big life goals and kind of plans, if you're like me and you put off some of those, like this talk video here, for example, this is like the golden ticket, once in a lifetime opportunity to do something with your life or prepare yourself so that you can when this is done. Honestly, I think some people are just so focused on how shitty the situation is, and they don't realize that this is like once, not even once in a lifetime, once in a generational opportunity to look inside yourself, reinvest in yourself, and reinvent at the same time. Short-term and long-term plan, guys. You just got to figure out what are the steps and moves that you need to take to come out of this situation stronger. And like even my mom made a point to me yesterday saying that maybe I need to get out there and help others. It's not really my thing. I think that that's kind of selfish to say that, but at the end of the day, you got to fix yourself before you go out and help others. And my belief is that eventually, again, I can't get into the financial stuff, and we're going to do another video about that, but I have some investments and I have this business that I do freelance with that I think are going to be very profitable at some point. And that is how I would focus on helping other people. I'm not really big on the hands-on volunteer shit right now, as to speak. I know this sounds terrible, but I just don't see myself working for free. I have value I can offer in other ways. Whoa, quick interjection. After reviewing this video, I am the worst for starting tangents and then not finishing what I was trying to say. But I was talking about how I refuse to volunteer because I have better things to do with my time. And I sounded like a fucking asshole if I didn't finish my point. Anyways, quick interjection. My point was that I don't believe in helping on the small scale. I believe on fixing your life and financial situation in order to have enough money to help many through philanthropy and providing jobs and other more meaningful things than dropping off a little bit of a food donation here or there or doing a soup kitchen or something. Don't get me wrong, that's a great thing to do. I've done it before, and there's definitely the need for people to do those things. It's just not for me. I don't refuse to do it, I just prefer not to do it. I will do it again at some point, but right now I'm focused on myself and work and bettering my situation so I can help others at another point. Back to the video. So essentially, figure out what you need to do, again, to make the right moves and the right steps in order to take advantage of this situation and come out stronger and ready to be more successful. I feel like I screwed up how I said that. But yeah, guys, like, I just think there's too many people overlooking this and only looking at the bad. And really, I think one of the most valuable things that you can do in your life is develop the skill of flipping a negative to a positive. It helps your mental state and outlook like you wouldn't believe when you can pull the positive from the negative every single time. Because the less you dwell on the negatives, the happier you'll be. So, yeah. I definitely prefer a scripted kind of video that I can cut through. Maybe that's because I'm used to cutting up people's interviews and stuff for video projects over the years. I hope I didn't sound like too much of a rambling douchebag. But yeah, off the top of my head, that's what I could get out there, and it was kind of some of the stuff I wanted to talk about. But yeah, looking forward to doing more of these ZFK Talks videos in the future, as well as ZFK vlogs. I think that despite the situation, I think 2020 will still be a really good year for some of us, and hopefully more of us than less of us. Again, it all depends on your outlook and what you're doing to come out of this situation a better person. So yeah, if you've been with me for the last almost 20 minutes now, I thank you very much. And make sure to press that like button and the subscribe button. And even leave a comment if you like. Let me know what you think about this video, in order for the YouTube algorithm to kind of see that and pump my tires a little bit. I'd appreciate it. All right, CFK out, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Stay safe. Social distance, and get out of this shit alive. Cheers.